Girl, you should leave him alone.
Right,
Are you ever like at McDonald's with the kids and people do that to you?
People do it to me all the time, and I'm the same way. I'm like, I know.
I know, girl, right?
I know, yeah. Or like one day I was shopping for curlers in CVS, no lie, and this guy was like, both of my sons were there, and this guy is like, Peter Gunz is a fucking asshole. I'm like, right in front of his son, sir. Like, please not. Like, that's just inappropriate. And I told him right then and there. Okay. I'm like, now open this thing up so I can get my curlers and get out of here. Because, they're like locked down. I'm like, open this thing up so I can get my curlers.
And leave me alone.
Well, yeah, I mean, because I'm like,
You should train your sons next time somebody does that to be like, oh, you want to be my stepdaddy? And then that'll just shut it all down, I think. We should just we'll talk to Cass and Jameson about that a little later.
Just scare them right off. Hey, this is Tara Wallace from Love and Hip Hop, and you're watching Thisis50.com.
What's up?
She's having a girl.
What you want me to do with that?
Well, I wanted to ask you if you had a problem with the boys meeting her when she gets here. Is that gonna be a problem?
I'm sure it's definitely gonna be a problem.
Right now, I just need to focus on me and getting my life together. I can't even bring myself to think about this new family Peter has started. Frankly, my priority are my sons and their well-being.
Thisis50.com, Ashlee Ray, you are here with me, and I love it when my friends stop by. The wonderful, the beautiful, the hilarious, and y'all just don't know it, Miss Tara Wallace, as y'all know her from Love and Hip Hop.
But what's my real name?
Tara Nasha. I know your whole name. I'm not gonna give it to the Thisis50 users. It's tax season, so we're not doing that. But how you doing, boo?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I was on time, like 15 minutes early.
And I was late.
I was waiting, drinking, eating chocolate.
But what are friends for? So we're in a new season of Love and Hip Hop right now.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're transitioning a little bit from the last time we saw you. We are now moving on from side wife to like co-mingling the children at this point. How's that coming along? Because people don't realize. Yeah. I sometimes I'll be wanting to drag your Instagram followers because they don't realize all this happened like, months and months ago.
Right.
But where are you guys at with it right now?
Not only did it happen months and months ago, but this entire thing has taken place over the course of a little over a year. So people are like, get over it, do this, do this, do this. I'm like, what? Are y'all crazy?
Yeah.
But you know what? I have, in lieu of me moving on, opened myself up to, getting to know her and just making sure that I'm putting the blame on the right person and not taking my frustrations out on her. Despite how I feel, despite things that I know she could have known, just leaving it alone. She still didn't owe me anything. Okay. And moving on from there.
Wait, so I think most people's rule is like if a woman knows that a man has a girl, then it's kind of like, it's not really all him. She does have some blame. So you're saying Amina is no longer to blame at all for the situation anymore?
No, I'm not saying she's not to blame. I'm saying that, I'm putting it on the person I felt owed me something. Okay. And that's where I'm just going to leave it. And then once a woman has a child, it's like you really do have to move on. Okay. Because, now it's permanent.
You guys are a family.
To stay. And so that's where I'm kind of trying to live in that space.
Okay, so I have to say, knowing you and then trying to be a viewer is so hard sometimes, because I feel like I think that there are conversations that went differently. It seemed as if on the show you guys jumped from just at the table talking about Peter and his infidelities to let's get our kids together. But there was that conversation went a little differently, or did it not? So how did the introduction of the kids and everything? Who started that? How did that conversation actually go about?
The conversation went about, the reason I even wanted to have the conversation with her is because I think last year when I really wanted to sit down and talk to her, I don't think she wanted to do that. And now that at that time
could it be because you slapped hellfire out of her, or no?
I mean, taking all of that into consideration, but still, it was, something so crazy. We have to have a conversation as to what is going on. Yes. You know what I mean? I have to I have to look at myself and say, hey, where did I go wrong? But also you have to look at yourself and say, wait a minute. We're not all floating on cloud nine and Tara Nasha shows up with her 2 kids. Yes. You guys are happily married. We all have to take our responsibility in the entire
situation.
Crazy triangle.
Okay.
So in having that conversation, I wanted to just really say how I really felt and then move on from it.
Okay.
I'm upset because you didn't do this, this, and this. but I'm putting it behind me. I feel like you're trifling because you did this, this, and this, but I'm still putting it behind me and moving forward.
Yes.
So I think that, obviously when you do reality TV, you cannot capture every single thing. You have but so many minutes or seconds to capture the gist of the scene. And I think there were some times, there were things I wish I had said, as far as I remember them, had been shown, but I don't think everything was, in its entirety. But I get it, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to show everything.
Absolutely. I mean, you said something just now about placing the responsibility or the blame in the right place, and you caught a lot of flack for going out of the country with Peter on a family vacay. Because usually when people think of family vacations, they think Aspen, I guess, or Disney World or Disneyland.
Right.
What are your real feelings on that?
In terms of that, I think people have just lost their damn minds.
Okay, why do you say that?
My children and I had gone through a lot. And if he felt the need to make sure that we had a vacation before, this new life came into the world, to make sure we just had that one moment, then that's what he should have done. And unfortunately, when you get yourself involved in, non-traditional circumstances or non-traditional situations, there are non-traditional circumstances that come with that. And if there's a man who has, small children, you have to accept that there are things he has to do with those small children that you may not like, but you had a choice, but you chose it.
Yes.
So.
You chose this knowing all of the facts.
Yes, you chose that knowing all the facts. So I don't take that back. You know what I mean? My son, even we were on winter break. He's like, did you check on those tickets to Barbados? He didn't ask for Disney World. He didn't ask for Disneyland. He was like, I want to go back to Barbados. And I'm like, okay, let me check on it.
Yeah.
Or any beach. He wants to go to a beach, but his first choice was Barbados.
Okay.
So I was like, okay.
I mean, hey, my first choice Barbados too. I'm saying the next time y'all book a family
So next
vacay.
time we're all going.
Yes, we're taking all the kids.
And
all the kids.
honestly, it was a situation. I'm like, hey, we may never have this opportunity again, because.
Things were changing.
Things were definitely changing.
Okay.
And it was just something that, we needed to, that our kids needed.
Yeah.
So
looking back, there was, when he first got back, Amina immediately goes into labor.
Right.
Watching that actual scene, did you feel bad for her a little bit, or she received basically that she was second choice? Like literally he was there in this delivery room almost like ready to be a family because you chose otherwise. Even watching a woman receive that news on a table, did you feel even a little bad for her?
I mean, I didn't feel bad because you always feel bad for a woman in labor because it's a lot of pain.
Absolutely.
Okay. But I don't feel bad because I don't think that's the first time that's been said.
Okay.
That was said last year. There's so many things that was said, and I could also say, well, I have a right to fight for him too. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
The same way she feels like, well, I have a right to fight for him because he did this and this. It's like, okay, what's the best choice for you? Like, let's look at this entire situation and say, hey, this is really fucked up. Am I going to continue to be in it, or am I going to separate myself? And so what people see this season is me really trying to start to separate myself from the entire situation. And unfortunately, that's just not easy.
Yeah, of course, 13 years, And
not just 13 years, but their children. Like, I need to talk to him every day about things that are happening with our sons, and their commitments that he has to make in terms of, make sure they get to school, after school programs, like all of that goes into play. But those are things that sometimes, you don't know to think of until you become a mother. So
Absolutely.
These things may not have been important to her until she had a child. Okay.
So you made a very important point. I think Amina feels like she has a leg to stand on because she is Peter's wife. Does even a little bit, because I think it's questionable to a lot of people, the fact that Amina she's not from the U.S. So and she's gonna get citizenship, right, soon, or is she? I
have no idea that situation. I don't know if she doesn't. I have no idea that situation. So I can't really speak on that.
Do you think for even a little bit, even that had something? You were with this man for 13 years.
Right.
You had 2 of his sons. You guys have been through your ups and your downs. And for him, and you even said it in that scene, I think, I actually cried for you when you said you made her your wife over me after 13 years.
No, it's not about punishment, Peter. It is about you not putting that time in to not make her your wife even before me. Who does that to somebody? I want you to leave me alone.
To be that extreme with it, you don't think that has anything to do with it?
I mean, I have no idea, you know what I mean? Like, I can only base it off of what I saw last year.
Okay.
And last year was very much so an eye-opener for me.
Okay.
Watching their chemistry together.
They
I'd
did
never see them together, you know, I'd never seen them together until I watched it play out on TV, like The World. You know, so you're sitting there watching this man that, you know, you love have this energy and chemistry with another woman. Mm-hmm. And I'm just dumbfounded in a way, you know what I mean? So I would have thought that there were scenes that she could have looked at it and said, wait a minute, I thought they were not together. Mm-hmm. So it was just like, it was an eye-opener for all of us. I mean, some of us may have said, okay, let me figure out this lesson really quickly, and some of us may still
got
say,
it really delayed and slower than others.
Or they have to stay in a little while longer until they reach their point.
So do you think that Amina is getting to a point where she's like getting it?
I don't know, you know. I don't know what it is for her to get, you know what I mean? Like, they live together. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what he says to her every night.
What does he say to you? That's what's more important. I think that's what we want to know. What does he say to Tara?
You know, Peter's very charming, so I hate to say anything he said because I don't know what he's really feeling. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If I were to guess, I would say that Peter would try and keep, you know, he would try and make this a triangle for the rest of his life.
So, you just gonna leave me outside with no umbrella, huh? You were the one I gave my heart, thought we'd never depart. I guess falling in love too fast wasn't smart. You acted like an angelfish, but you was a shark. Chewed through my soul, left me torn apart. Too much pride to let you see me cry, like a car in cruise control. I just let it ride.